Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson, with Cowboy Wisdom Podcast and Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity, presenting 7 ways why I rose out of greedy leadership. Greedy leadership is what can I take from people, such as you see what's happening today. Our politicians are greedy leadership. Everybody wants more, and everybody wants from somebody. And it can take from, and greedy leadership is what it can take from the people. You witness that today in the world. But sovereign leadership is showing people ways to discover and utilize the wise of their sleek, unique talents. You just take what's going on in the world today. We were never taught as we was growing up a different way. We had to go pay a whole bunch of money to an institution, as they could have really started the foundation in high school education. See, the world has never been set up for people. World has been set up for the greed of the greedy leadership of the world. That is a silent tyranny that's going on in the world. But a lot of people don't understand what the tyranny is. And see, leadership is listening every day, appreciating dreamers, enterprising, rebellious, savvy, honoring internal prowess. See, people today are still selfish and greedy, just like we've been all of our life. We've been here for millions of years, but we still have the greedy selfishness. This world is too cheap and greedy to move forward because they want to see how much they can get from people. And that's okay to get all you can. But when you take it from people and you destroy people's lives, that's a karmic debt getting ready to come back and pay you a visit. And the leadership of the world and the education system and all the third world enslaving mindsets have people thinking they're puppets. As a greedy leadership has a larcenous mindset, looking for ways to cheat people, and you see that today. I know what's good for you. And I fell prey to it. I'm not going to lie a bit. The greedy leadership is a subconscious ingrained mindset. And it's just embellished through the school system. It really is. And I never showed myself or taught myself that is enough. And today I have expanded into I don't need anything. I am good. And I was talking with a friend of mine. We was talking about enlightenment, and everybody's, I gotta get enlightenment. No, you're enlightened right here. You rise and expand and energize more enlightenment, but you're enlightened right here. What you're really trying to do is rise out of the greedy leadership in you, expand out of your self-taught torment, get rid of the school system, get rid of the third world and enslaved mindset. But really, it isn't about being enlightened. It's about getting rid of all your material chattels and all that rat-a-tat crap that comes from that overthinking mind and history. You're enlightened when you rise out of history. And history is good. But we've never risen out of it because we've never been showed the way to listen and be at peace. When you're at peace in here, you're enlightened. I like that. I'll show you the way to enlightenment. I don't have you just have to open up to understand you're enlightened right where you're at. And you got to get out of the greedy, seedy leadership of the world. See, as I've been around for 69 years, the government has become, everything in the leadership parts of the world is the same as it was in Hitler's years. We still have that same kind of tyranny and everything. Heck, you can take it all the way back. We've never been showed a way to peace. We have to be showed peace. We have to be introduced to peace. We don't want to be taught or learn peace. We got to open up to comprehend peace. When you rise to comprehend, you let go of the depending on other people's delusions. We've actually been taught delusions and illusions. Oh, this is this and this is that. And all it is flat. When you rise to your sovereign leadership, sovereign liberation, and politically incorrect inspirations, and image the outcome of peace internally, an accomplished outcome for me as of today is peace. When you're at inner peace, you're enlightened and you're wealthy. And if I show people a better way to experience their life, that's magnetizing the world with wealth. Because today, something I really have opened up to, people encompass the same subconscious mind, frozen in time representations as our ancestors. And you look at the world, we've modernized in medicine, but medicine ain't all what it's cracked up to be. And computers, and how have computers actually stolen the innovation of people? And it shows people how to think, but it never shows people how to listen, image their inspirations, question their way of life, understand their own experiences, comprehend what is going on with enterprising wisdom and elegant revelations to rise. See, the world, you look at the world in the world has never risen out of greedy leadership and thinking somebody else can do it better. We've never risen out of being told what to do. We've never been risen out of this, but we always stay the same. And business and education are part of this greedy leadership. You are the sovereign leader of your life, and you are the sassy liberation to expand through life. But as long as we stay inside the greedy leadership, and something else that I'm going to do a class on is people listen to other people's malarkey, because it's like you take somebody telling somebody what to do, but then you look at what the other person does. Well, like I had something, you look at the other person does, they have no money in the game. What they say has nothing to do with anything. All that is to get people follow swat boxes. There's no integrity or wisdom in it. Oh, this is it. Everybody can have an opinion, but if you're following other people's opinions, you're a minion. And that's the thing about the world. I read all this stuff. I rose out of self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, educated psychology, all that. I listen to my daily life. I listen with inspiration, question with audacity, understand with integrity, comprehend the ceremonious wisdom inside it. And I listen to my wisdom to introduce me to my revelations of robust, enterprising, visionary audacity. Enlivens my heart and soul. Something I learned today is, I'm going to do this, but what is it that the material chattels you think you have to have? Write them on one side of a piece of paper. And on the other side, what awakens my heart, soul, and spirit to rise? That's going to be a class. But today, people are so interested in, I'm marketing this and I'm marketing that and I'm doing this. And, you can send all the marketers and all the business people home in the world, and the world will still function. People make the world go around. And look at your life. Where would you be without electricians, plumbers, especially nurses? If the nurses went home for 30 days, what would happen? That would be a very, very sad day. because the more people think they look down on people is the people they are required to have the most in their life. I can do without a business coach, a marketer, and all that, but I can't do without nurses, doctors, plumbers, electricians, car mechanics, and things like that because they make the everyday life go. See, we've been taught a fallacy through the greedy leadership, and corporations are good for America. Corporations destroyed the sovereignty of this United States with free trade. Just won't get honest with it. You got to be forthright to enlighten. A mindset you'll never have being if think, know, learn, knowledge, and mindset, you'll never be enlightened because they're all programming. This world is so programmed that it can never move forward. And your egotistical stubbornness will keep you locked and blocked in yesterday. And that's what the world is stuck in, is ancestor egos of there's never enough. Survival. Oh my God. And you listen to people and you hear the survival. Once you rise out of the survival and shine your spirit savvy and expand of your grandeur, you really start to witness how this world is controlled by limitations. Greedy leadership is limitations, barrier, blockages. All they care about is how they can get the nickels and dimes and dollars out of you to make their life better. We went into all this business education. Now it's all over our leaders in the world. And all they think is people owe them for nothing. So what I'm really saying is greedy leadership stops and steals quality of life for people because of their third world tyranny, greed, oppressing people for their profits and their lifestyle has been the way of the world since the beginning of time. Really, if you really scratch off of it and get really, really very honest with yourself with integrity, you can see the world has never changed. We've modernized, but yet we've never risen out of the malarkey of the rock ages because we still do the same thing. We still murder people. We still have sex trafficking. We still have this. We still have oppressive governments. We got corrupt governments. We got people that are. So to rise out of this and out of the seedy, greedy leadership of the world, you open up to be the sovereign leader of your life with autonomous liberation. Life is liberating invitation, fostering emancipating expressions, inspiration to rise us out of yesterday. I really got down on this and looked at it. Life is the same, except for within me, life is fresh every day. And I like fresh over new because it's in the now. It's a new now. And see, we're all waiting for tomorrow. And we're sitting here waiting for an election that's going to change the world with the same people as 4 years ago, saying the same things that they were saying in 1960. Politicians and politics and the leaders of political parties, they're just going to embellish you. They're going to oppress you with their agendas. See, nobody has an agenda for people. They have their agenda for their campaign contributors, and that's a greedy leadership. There is, I'm a blue collar person and I like it. I never want to be white collar because white collar has an arrogance and a barrier they don't even know it exists. They think they look down upon the blue collar, but yet the blue collar can do things they can't do, and they do things they can't do. But I'm at least honest enough to admit, but they really can't do anything more than I've done, So as we move forward in life, we got to get rid of the greedy leadership. You got to become at peace just where you are in this moment. And peace means poised energy, animated celebration, enjoying today. As I move forward in life, I open up to who I am. And I let go of whatever happened to somebody else. You know, if I listen throughout my daily life and I move forward, if I listen and question and say hello to everybody, I'm rising the energy out of the egotistical arrogance of everybody else. But when I think I know everything and I'm better than somebody, I'm stuck in that oppressive oblivion within myself. Because people will always open up to what it is, and then we'll go forward from there. And as we do this, we open up to understand we're the leaders of our life. And I say leaders, that means legendary energy, animating, dauntless elegance, realizing sovereign, harmonizing ingenuity propels the world forward. And, as we look at the greedy leadership of the world, they're all doing horrendous things. But if you do it, you're going to jail. And, and the world is filled with third world enslaving mindsets. And if you look at the world, there's people do things and they get mad because they did it. And a greedy leadership with a third world enslaving mindset think they own and control people and want to keep them in a in an oppressive lifestyle. And something I've really noticed in the last 3 years is a lot of people, just because they got that degree and they're a politician or somebody that's important in their egotistical world, are really no better than anybody else, but they think they are. But they're really selfish, greedy, corrupt people, and they really are afraid to talk to people that isn't as educated, because they realize that education in the way they are, they may lack the wisdom to have a conversation with somebody. And the leadership of the world, the seedy, greedy leadership of the world, they do very little without getting paid from somebody else. And they took a position and got paid from people, but they leave the people out of the equation as soon as they get in there. And they're very selfish, and they know more. And just take Washington D.C. There's our elected leaders know more lobbyists than they know hourly workers in their home district. Yet, I know who pays them the most is the lobbyists, but they leave out the people. And see, people, we got to start evicting them from our lives and start being the world, because the ego is selfish snobbiness with a materialistic malarkey, because it doesn't have the backbone to think. It lacks sovereign leadership, lacks a backbone to trust their abilities. It's easier to get somebody to pay you from outside than you do it. So if you look at the world today, most people go into a leadership, they want the power. They want the power over the people. And really, the only people that can have power over you is who you allow it. And see, I know this is our founding fathers and mothers They told the powers to be to take a long walk across across the Atlantic Ocean. And see, we've let go of that pioneering backbone because we and I'm guilty of this one, really guilty. We like our convenience. When you start standing up for yourself and creating a few waves, it gets very unsettling because the people that you thought were your friends, they're going to follow the convenience. And they did it. And I was a union electrician, and you see that every day. They talk big, but when it comes time to walk the talk, they squawk. And then they squawk and squat on the porta potty. You know, a lot of people are talking tough, but they're going to squat on the porta potty when they're faced with it. You know, people want to follow people with wealth because that gives them that gives them something to feel good. They hang out with wealthy people and they do everything they say. They become a people pleaser to the wealthy, and then they'd rather listen to the wealthy than hearken their own sovereign leadership within themselves. And when you listen to the wisdom of your sovereign leadership with legendary entrepreneurial acumen, adroit, dauntless, enterprising revelations to understand and esteem your wealth, health, and peaceful, accomplished outcomes and fun are your natural affluence, optimizing the omniscient leadership because money was my greedy leadership. Open my hellraiser heart, savant, soul, spirit. Hellraiser heart, savant soul, spirit poise, and sovereign valor to understand and admire my free flowing intuition is my health, wealth, and fun. Energizing my imagination, innovation, inspiration, sleek, unique talents. And everybody has sleek, unique talents. Trailblazer acuity ignites my life expanding listening, enlightened inspirations, imaging my liberating seashores of splendor, questions the ultimate understanding for my canny comprehending of my life events and encounters and experiences, and out of everywhere dares, because life is an out of everywhere dare, energizing wisdom, outlaw optimism with an F off F that tenacity to say no with natural omnipotence, optimizing now opportunities that chauffeurs me to my trails of triumph, effortlessly floating me on to my seashores of stunning endless abundances. As I surf my seas of copious cornucopia, as I realize and admit I stopped paying attention to greedy leadership, to listening to my legendary leaders within me to show me the way to my promised land. Now and forevermore, I soar a simple, optimistic acumen to listen for the innovative wizardry, to stop hearing about their money and to listening to the wisdom of their paths of plush, peaceful, prosperous ways, to witness and observe my life with lush leisure. It's really about rising to your inner self and your leadership abilities because you are sleek, unique, and talented. And one thing when you rise out of following the educated system of the world and open up to your entrepreneur extravaganzas, you celebrate life right here. I am Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity. And may your life be blessed as you are a blessing to me in the world. I thank you, and I'll be here tomorrow night with I Rose Out of Programming.